Hello everybody and welcome to my little fashion corner, also known as the place where there's absolutely atrocious audio quality because I don't have a proper mic setup. In this video, I'm just going to give you a few tips and tricks that I've learned in my about 6 months of dressing as a girl. So, let's get into it. This video is obviously aimed at trans girls, but you can use this if you're a femboy or if you're a cis girl. I don't know how you'd go to me for fashion tips, so let's get into it. First thing I would like to advise, and a lot of my online trans friends will attest to this, but I am a very big evangelist for padded bras. They're very, very good. I advise if your first one, just go with a crop top one like this. This one's just from my local Bonds store. You'll probably be able to get them at any women's clothing store, but they're really good both before you're going on HRT and after, because before you go on HRT they're good because if you're wearing a dress, if you're wearing a tighter dress like this, or if you're wearing a somewhat tight shirt, then it will give you a bit more shape in your chest. I also heard just using a regular bra or with socks or something advised for that, but I haven't tried that, so I don't know if it works, and I also don't have a regular bra to demonstrate. But it's also good once you're on HRT because your breasts will get very sensitive and it protects them just that little bit from damage. I'm wearing one right now, and I also have this spare one, which is the one I sleep in, because I sleep on an angle so I don't lean on my breasts and make them hurt and wake me up. My next tip is women's underwear. They may look very appealing, but don't go for it. They're more trouble than they're worth. I guess I'm not sure how to explain this in a very friendly way, but most women, shockingly, are cis, and so don't have the same stuff down there as us. So their underpants are not designed to hold that in. I don't know if I'm getting too graphic or too detailed here, but if you're wearing women's underpants and you have that, then there is a risk of your thing slipping out of the side of the underpants and hanging there. I might cut that bit out because it's a bit embarrassing. My next little bit of advice is something that I was actually demonstrating in the intro, and that is that you should tuck your shirt in under a skirt because it looks much more feminine. And also, I know this is the most basic dressing femme tip, but you should wear your skirt about here or here, so just above or just below your belly button. Don't wear it at the hips like pants. They're not designed for that. They're designed to be worn at the waist, whether that's above, below, or I guess at the belly button. You can do them as well. And while we're on the topic of skirts and shirts, I would advise, don't do this. Don't wear a button-up shirt with a skirt. It just doesn't look good. There are a couple of times when you could pull it off, especially if it's a really good color combination, which isn't that great, but I didn't have time preparing to find something better. But yeah, I would not advise going with this, except in a few fringe cases. Now, I know a lot of trans girls will like pink a lot, or you might be like me, and you can't stand the colour pink, and you wouldn't be caught dead wearing it. And for all my purple girlies, I would advise that purple goes really, really well with a sort of teal or bluish green colour. That's one of my favourite colour combinations to go with, and I would advise you try it as well. Another big piece of advice I have is that if you're going to be girl moding full or most of the time, get rid of your dysphoria hoodie. Now this is the actual dysphoria hoodie that I used to wear. It's not technically a hoodie, but it's a really big, long, bulky jacket that I really like, but yeah, it's not very feminine and it's not very flattering. The point of it is to hide your body shape. So if you want to look much more feminine and want to pass as a girl, then I advise you go for a much more feminine jacket like this. This one's also purple, so it's extra good because that's a supposedly girly colour. I'll go for a big feminine coat like this one, which I like a lot as well. Something you've probably noticed me wearing throughout this video is this little woolen undershirt. These are really good, they add an extra layer, and I would particularly advise it if it's your first winter on estrogen, because estrogen reduces your body heat slightly, so you'll feel the cold a lot more, and this is a lifesaver in that situation. Next thing I advise is this. This is a slip. I have no idea where you can buy one, but I would definitely advise you buy one. It's like a mini skirt made of a really silky material, and you wear it. Wear it. Put it on under your shirt. Put the shirt over it, but you wear it under a skirt or a dress, and it just gives it a bit more shape and stops it sticking to you. A lot of, some dresses will come with one built in. They'll have like another little silky layer within that serves the same purpose. The next tip is actually not one of mine. It's my friend. She's given it to me, and I can't actually demonstrate it. But my friend has advised that you should, if you're wearing a dress, good thing to go with it is a belt at the waist. Now, unfortunately for me, I have fortunately, in this situation, unfortunately, but generally, fortunately, I have a naturally really thin waist. So my belts are actually too big for me to actually demonstrate this. But if you want to try it out, now you'll notice that the camera has changed angle a bit, and that's because this last little segment is going to be on shoes and what kind of feminine shoes you can get and where to find them. Something I'd advise is just casual shoes is something like this, just white sneakers. It can be hard to find women's shoes in large sizes, but if you live in a big city, then any large shoe store should have them in the sizes you want. If not, then you can either get them if you're going into a city, or you can get them online. Something else a bit more casual you can go for is much more girly shoes like ballet flats and that. I actually don't have any of those to demonstrate, so I'll just show you these, but same thing for them. You can find them in any big shoe store in a city. But if you don't want to do that, then another kind of shoe that's a bit more gender neutral, but also will look really good on you, are these boots. These ones are specifically Doc Martens, but there are other kinds of boots you can get. There are more feminine boots, like there are high-heeled boots or like knee-high boots. I'm not actually going to tie these up because it's going to take a while. I'm just going to have them on for a little bit. But if you're going with boots, I advise that you wear them with leggings and a skirt. I think thigh-high socks or stockings would serve the same, but I personally prefer to wear leggings because that is just probably my favourite clothes combination that there is, but that also might just be me being gay. And that was the video. I do have one last tip I didn't mention earlier in the video. I need to duck down a little for you to see, and that is sunglasses. Get a pair of feminine sunglasses. You can go a super feminine kind, or you can go like these, which are just a little bit subtly femme. Yeah, I think that's all. So leave a like, I guess, subscribe. If this video gets lots of views, I might do some more similar ones with just some different kinds of trans advice. I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.
going to put this at the end of the little outro segment. But if you noticed if you've watched to this point and you've noticed my little lesbian bracelet, comment something about that in the comments. See ya.